Cool. All right. So I think how are we doing on the time? We've got 15 minutes to go. So we have a few questions. We'll get to that. But before going into it, last segment for us to chat, and then let's do the Q&A. I call this to be a crystal ball segment. So kind of predicting the future here. Um, Melinda, what do you think is next here? Like in terms of the tooling, the workflows, what is going to be the next big step function, for us to evaluate performance quickly, effectively, and accurately?
Mm. Yeah, I think I know it's a buzzword, but I do think that Gen AI and generative tools are already, I think, having a big impact on the space. Thinking about being able to generate really large and diverse like simulation sets from kind of a human interpretable kind of prompt and things of that nature are really, really exciting. And being able to kind of know your test coverage in advance and then, generate situations and simulations that kind of match that. I think that's an area that is just really exciting. And I also think it goes beyond kind of the technical work too. I mean, just the impact of these tools on productivity for developers, like, using Gen AI tools as a coder, I think is really, really exciting. And even, within, lots of the other roles within, any organization, I think is a really exciting area that we're going to see a lot of impact from.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of buzzwords, but I think these buzzwords are getting turned into reality, as we can see, with OpenAI and DeepSeek and all the great stuff, which is difficult to catch up on all the time, but it's happening for real. Nick, what do you
Yeah, I
think?
was I was gonna say just to expand on that. I mean, I think she's spot on, but I think one thing to expand upon is like basically using Gen AI and those tools to kind of accelerate some of the work that we're already doing. I mean, these aren't groundbreaking approaches, but I mean, if you look at performance evaluation across non-autonomy sectors, like whether it's your iPhone or Samsung phone, or any other sort of technology that has a product out there, a lot of those teams focus on how you can quickly dedupe, how you can quickly cluster like events, how you can go find events before they're reported. And so I think like some of the Gen AI stuff and some of that predictive analysis can really help to accelerate some of that stuff that many of us are probably already doing to some regard. But you know, I would love for my team to not have to look at the same issue over and over and over again. And so how can we really sort of cluster and
That's right.
sort of bulk update these, get these grouped and over to the development teams as soon as possible. So I think that's certainly one thing that I think a lot for my group. Also, I guess just to quickly mention is I think in the autonomy space, many groups ultimately have vehicle operators, testers in the vehicles, right? And they're one piece of way that we get feedback. And I think more and more we're going to need to produce signals to get that feedback without humans in them, right? We're already doing that in the simulated environment. Hey, we've seen some failure here. Hey, you need to look into this sort of thing. More and more, we need to push that onto our actual product once we launch that too, because even though we're launching it, there's going to be subtle things that we need to continue to clean up. These might not be safety critical things, but as I mentioned earlier in the talk, some of our key partners, logistics companies, they have a reputation to uphold. They don't want people calling them and saying, "Hey, your truck is lane changing back and forth on the highway or turn signal flickering." And so some of these
Right.
things are more reputational, and being able to
Yeah.
extract those things, as it's playing out is going to be critical to continue to refine.
Yeah, and I think the reputation, to your point, right, is a very important tenet of this whole ecosystem, because the transparency with the general public who is not as much deep in the technology. And I mean, if you are driving and you have no idea what this truck is, right, even before you can see the tractor of the semi, right, that has all the sensors and whatnot, like you're like, hey, this is lane changing very abruptly, what's going on, right? And then I might, get in touch with DHL, FedEx, or whichever company, and that could be a PR optics issue, right? So I think it's very important to kind of communicate the intent of the vehicle and the platform with the general public as well as sharing your product technology with the audience.